Hello, my name is Katie. I am the founder of Ella CRM. Thank you so much for showing interest in Ella. And here is the demo video just to show you around some of the main features of Ella CRM and how you might be able to use that in your business. So let me share away. I can show you around some of the main features. So this is the contacts area and the CRM, where we house all the information about a certain person. So anyone that's come into the system, this is when they came in initially. I can scroll up on this one. This is just one of my well, it's me. It's one of my entries here. So you can just see some of the things, some of the actions that I've had. So my diary is connected. So it's brought in some of my diary appointments. One I've been testing and things like that. You can see 14-day trials have been set up. You can see all the emails here that have been sent. Now, if I had other things connected, such as social media, Instagram and Facebook, then Messenger and Instagram DMs, you could see those over here as well. So you could see any conversations that I've had, not just via email with a potential client or customers, but also any messages that have been connected there as well. Now, if I paid additionally for WhatsApp API, which is a kind of next level feature, then also you would be able to bring that in as well. And you could see any WhatsApp information, conversations that I've had here with clients as well. But we're going to put WhatsApp back aside for a second because that is an additional feature. So all of the features that I want to talk to you about really are the main features that are involved, that are included in the standard £75 a month fee or £750 for the year, so you get 2 months free. Okay, so on the right hand side, you can see the activity, and then you can see in the center exactly what's gone on, any emails that have been sent. If they've got a little green icon, it just tells me that the person has actually opened the email, so you can see the name, email, any phone numbers that might be recorded, and date of birth, any other information here, any tags that might be assigned to that person, any automations that they're in actively or past, any courses that have been offered, and so on. So this is where all the information is kept. Now, one of the other main features is the calendar. So if I go over to the calendar, you can integrate stuff like Google Calendar and iCal. And you can have various different calendars connected with different members of different users. So if you've got a small team and you have different, or you have a VA or something like that, they can all be brought over as well. So this I always associate is quite similar to something like Calendly. It's really straightforward to create a calendar. So if I click on new calendar, these are the different calendar types you can select. Personal bookings, which are basically client meetings, one-on-ones. Class bookings, where you have one host, but you have multiple participants or multiple people in that class. Round robin, if you have different team members that you want to allocate calls to. And collective booking, where there's multiple hosts with one participant. So I'm going to go for this one. Okay, then there's different team members you can select if you have more than one. Then you need to give that a URL. Okay, just need to make that. Meeting duration, this can be minutes or hours, and you can change that to suit. Your booking availability you'll set up in the start, so this will come across for you, but you can amend it further if you want to as well. If I just, well, from this particular calendar, want to turn off Fridays, or maybe this is a one-on-one service that I offer paying clients for a certain program of mine that I actually only take one-on-one calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Then for this particular call calendar, I could just take off everything else and just leave those Tuesdays and Thursdays allocated. I can change the time here to suit as well. I can accept payments just by toggling across here. Integrates natively with Stripe and PayPal, so it's nice and easy if you want. If it's a call that's chargeable, you can turn that on. If I just go to advanced settings and show you the next screen, I can make this as pretty as I want. So if I want to drag an image across to make this a little bit prettier, I can do. I can add a description here. If you have a group setup that is part of different calendars, i.e. one-on-one, group calls, something like that, then you can allocate groups and you can allocate certain calendar settings within that group. You can set up a meeting test name here. Sorry, not a test name, that's what I've called it. You can set up a meeting invite title, I should say, here. You can Select team members and assign meeting locations further down. So if you have, for instance, Zoom integrated, I haven't, then you could allocate that over here, or you could just say custom. You can add in your Zoom links. These are some of the other places like Google Meet and stuff, and Microsoft Teams you can also integrate, and you can change the color to suit for some of your branding. Then you can go down to availability. As standard, I haven't got Sundays and Saturdays available. I've just unticked Friday. I can amend any of these like I showed you on the previous screen. If there's a specific date where you just don't want to take any calls, or you're away or out of the office, you can just turn that off as well for specific dates. You can decide to look busy and hide the number of slots by a certain percentage. So if I wanted to look like I've got more appointments, I don't tend to do that, but that's there if that's something that's important to you. Reoccurring meetings you can switch on. Slot intervals you can change, meeting durations, minimum scheduling notice, date range, how far in advance you want to be able to take bookings, maximum bookings per day if you only want to speak to 3 different people a day, for instance, and maximum bookings per slot, and also pre-buffer time and post-buffer time. If you want to make sure you have 5 minutes either side of calls to grab a quick drink or whatever, then you can do that as well. Forms and payments, there's a default. You can set up other forms and bring in other forms you've set up as well over here to collect standard information. So the default is always first name, last name, email, phone, and a notes section. Obviously, you can put little messages on and confirmation pages and so forth. You can also confirm new calendar meetings if you want to, or you can toggle that across. Again, you can accept payments here as well. Notifications and additional options. You can set up how you want people to be notified when something's happened. So if it's an unconfirmed or a confirmed booking or cancellation, reschedule, reminder, follow-ups, all of these can be turned on at this stage, or they can also be set up in the automation section. So if, for example, you wanted to send someone a reminder from here, you would just toggle across, you'd go down to contact, and you say, right, when do you want to trigger that notification? Do you want to send somebody a notification an hour before the appointment starts, 10 minutes, etc., etc.? You can choose an email template that you might have already set up, or you can just type it down below here, and you can have the add to calendar links. You can have all these little custom values here are just brought in for the appointment meeting location and time zones and start times and so forth. That's already in that for you, or you can just amend this to suit and make it your own. From name, etc., all the information here. You can also send yourself as an assigned user the emails and notifications if you want to as well. So you go through all of those. And customizations, if you want to change some of the colors on your diary, you can do that here as well on your calendar. And again, you can change images and stuff here as well to make it look a little bit more your own. You can choose background colors, things like that. You can choose what to include, like the calendar title, description, and calendar details as well. And if I then go back to my calendar list and click on, let me have a look. I can't remember what I even called it. This one here, wasn't it? I can share that calendar and have a look. Obviously, I didn't make it particularly pretty. I didn't add too much here, but you can just see, I don't think I'd saved it all properly, but you can see any amendments you make then will show up here. So you can see, I obviously saved the taking off the Friday, Saturday, Monday, and so forth. You can see the availability and so on. And then you just collect all the information here, any additional information and schedule and so on. And then they would get notifications. You would get notifications so you know when someone has booked the call. Okay, so that's pretty much the calendar section. So you can do quite a bit over there as well. And as you can see in Ella, all the main functions and menu options are down on the left-hand side. So I can see any conversations that I'm having with people just by clicking on conversations as well. So again, I've got my Instagram DMs over there, my messenger conversations really easily. You also have a bit of a dashboard of kind of what's going on over here. So opportunity status, different opportunity value, conversion rate, just got some test data in here. And you can see what stage people are at, different funnels and so forth. So you can take people through a complete pipeline. So if you have some opportunities, some leads coming through, and maybe, let's use this as an example. So somebody might book a demo call with me, somebody might have a free trial, then they would come in as a lead, then they might book a free trial with me. So I would take them to that next part of the pipeline stage. Then they might book a trial with me. And then if they go ahead and have that trial and they have a demo with me, did they go ahead and sign up to Ella, or did they decide it wasn't for them? So that would be a perfect pipeline that I take people through for this example. Okay, what else have we got? Payments. This is a huge area. So if I come over here, you can see I've got invoices and estimates and templates to send people, documents and contracts. So this is all digitally signed. So if I was to send, let's say, a potential invoice out to somebody, I could send a new one-off invoice, a reoccurring invoice, and if it's reoccurring, you can just set it up from the settings. It'll go out automatically. If I wanted to send somebody maybe a contract out, I can either do this from template or I can start from standard, a new document. I can import, upload, and start from scratch on that, or I can upload an existing PDF if I prefer to do that and create the contract somewhere else. I can import from the template library as well. You've got a document, lots of documents over there, different templates that you might want for your client. That then gets sent to them. So once it's published and you've sent, it changes from draft to waiting for others and then completed in any payments that are assigned against that document or contract as well. So it's all digitally signed and stored here. So for me, this was one of the savings of software that I was personally using. I was using HelloSign, I think it was. It was either, I think it was $20 a month I was paying for that. And again, I would create my document, my contracts over there, send that to a client. They would sign it, I would sign it, and we'd both get notification of that. So everything was stored then digitally using digital signatures. Okay, so that's pretty similar over here. You can see any orders that you have, any subscriptions that you have in place. You can create payment links for anything that you want as well. You can see all transactions and you can see everything starts from a product basically. So if you're starting from a product, you create your product. You can actually import from Stripe here as well. You again, pretty simple, similar actually to the way you'd set up a product in Stripe. So you decide whether they're one time or reoccurring, the amount. If they're reoccurring, obviously you decide the billing period, whether it's monthly, weekly, yearly, etc. And that then sits into products. Once you've got those products, you can easily create a payment link from those products. You've also got some other integrations that go on here and some coupons as well. AI agents is something, again, there are some additional features if and when lots of clients are not using them necessarily, but if they want to use them, they are there for you as an option. They are chargeable, but they're pennies. But you can have other options like creating websites, funnels, helping you draft out in automation, helping you with your copy, all those types of things, just as another kind of assistant there to have. So marketing is a big section. Over here we have the social media planner, which is obviously a lovely section. Oh, do you know what? I created these yesterday when I was doing a demo for somebody, and I completely forgot to delete them. So I'm just going to do those now because they will sit there and they will go out. And as you can see, it's just gobbledygook. So if you go to new post, you have a couple of different options here. You can upload from CSVs and you can create go from social media planners and templates. You can bring in your reviews. If you've got reviews on Google or you've got reviews on Facebook, for instance, I'll show you in the reputation section in a minute. You can integrate those and bring over those reviews, and then you can just post those reviews directly to your social media from here. So your socials, you can connect Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn currently. And you can bring in more than one page if you need to as well. So you can see some of mine over here. I've got 3 different Facebook pages linked, 2 different Instas, and 1 LinkedIn at the moment as well. Okay, so that's really simple. Just to click on new account and it tells you what you can connect. You can also bring over TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, and I mentioned LinkedIn, didn't I? So go to new post to create new post. Let's just start from scratch. It's pretty straightforward. So you select the social accounts that you want to post on. So let's just say I want to post on a Facebook and an Insta in this particular instance. Okay. Then I would write out my text. You can choose to customize for each channel if you want them to be slightly different, or you want kind of different size graphics and so forth. So I've chosen down here, these are both going as feed posts as opposed to reels or stories, but you can amend that if you want to. I want to add an image, so I'm going to upload from the media library. And let's just go and grab an image. That'll do. Chuck that over. And you can see on the right-hand side how it's going to look on Instagram and how it's going to look on Facebook. Okay. And you can see how the text sits as well. Here we go. So you can look individually if you want to as well. Once you are happy with that, you have a few different options. You can post straight away. You can schedule your post for a later date or time. You can send the post for approval within your organization. Like I said, if you have other team members, or you have somebody maybe learning, they can send that over to you for approval before it goes live. And if you have something that goes out on the same day each week or each month, then you can schedule recurring posts here as well. So I'm going to just show you how to schedule. Let's do it later on. Okay, there we go. So it's giving me ideas here of best time to post as well, incidentally, either which is pretty accurate for mine. Normally in the morning works really well, or they're saying try the afternoon. So you can change your time to suit here. And we can press schedule. Now give that a couple of seconds. So I've just had the notification in the top right corner saying post successfully scheduled. And you can see over here, okay, I've got that same post scheduled. I'm just going to go and delete that again because again, I've just got a load of rubbish there. You can see any previous content over here. If you have it sat there, you can see some previous statistics as well. If you're using this, number of posts and likes and followers and impressions and comments and so forth that have been brought over that are connected to the connected social media platforms. You can look at these individually further down if you want to as well, or you can just look at them all from the top. Okay, so what else have we got over here actually before I move on? Just about to go down to automation, but we're a little bit premature in that one. So let's go over to email marketing. So we all want to grow our lists, obviously. So we need a great email marketing tool. So over in email marketing, we've got our statistics on the first page, then we've got campaigns and we've got some templates. So once you've set up a few templates, when you sign up for Ella, you have access to some templates and so forth. Anyway, if you need help or you want a specific template for a specific industry, give me a shout. I'll see if I've got something on file, no problem. Your templates sit in the template section. Generally, you're going to start with an existing template. And that's where you're going to use each time because you've got your social media then linked, you've got your branding attached and so forth. So let's just go into one of these. I've just got a clone here. This is just something that's sat in draft that I often use to show people around in a test. So as you can see, it's all just drag and drop widgets here. So these are all the widgets or the elements on the left-hand side, and I can just simply drag and drop all of these across. And I can just delete. If I want to get rid, I can duplicate, delete. I can use this just to add some extra text in. At the top, I can change to header types, different fonts, different colors, different sizing, etc., etc. I'm just going to get rid of that one, bold, all the rest of it, all the usual kind of stuff. Oh, I haven't highlighted that. All the usual stuff that you want to do. Attach links, etc., etc. Let me just get rid of that section. So images on the left-hand side, you can see as I'm building this out, on the left-hand side is a panel that opens. Go over to here to make the main changes. So you can see over here, I can change out the image. This is actually an old template. So I'm going to bring in the new logo. All I did then was click on the little pencil, upload from media library, double-clicked the image that I wanted to use, or you can go to the top three here and say get link. So I'm just double-clicking. It's easier. Obviously, I've got an image here as well that I've just brought in. It's going to make that a little bit smaller. I can choose to view this on mobile if I want to, and desktop, just to make sure that everything sits nice on mobile as well. Then I've got all the text underneath. I've got some links in here. I've got some buttons. So all of these are just, as we showed you earlier, just drag and drop buttons. Let me look on the settings for buttons, for example. I can change the text that goes here. I can change the font and the size and the color and so forth, the button and the font color. Any URL actions, where do I want to send people with that link? Okay, and the padding and the margins and so forth, radius around that. And then you've got the footer section at the bottom to make sure people can unsubscribe when they want to as well. Okay, and that's ready to go. So once you're happy with that, with the email, you've designed it all and it's ready to go, you click on send or schedule. And again, you can send now or you can schedule for later on. You enter in your email, who it's from, the sender name, who it's from, email and your name, subject title, and preview text. Here you get to choose all your contacts, whether that's your whole list, whether it's people that have got certain tags, whether it's a smart list you've created. You can then track those people that have clicked those links, and you can add a tag to them as well if you want to, when people have taken a certain action. And set up UTM tracking, and you can also set up resend automatically to unopened emails within, there's a certain amount of time. So within 12 hours, up to 10 days after the original send date with a different subject line as well. Over on the right-hand side, we've got a little spam score coming soon, so that'll be with you shortly. So you can just check that everything kind of hits the boxes and it's not going to, well, it's going to avoid ending up in the spam section of, Gmail and Hotmail and so forth and the recipients. And you've got required fields at the bottom. So it's just telling me what I'm missing. So obviously I haven't filled all this in. So it's saying your send information is missing and subject, etc. So you obviously want that all looking green and ticked and ready to go. And that is the email builder. So that's nice and simplistic to use. Some of the other main features over here, we got some countdown timers, which are really nice to include on pages and in emails as well. We've got some trigger links, which links that trigger things and make things happen for you, certain actions. If you want to become set up an affiliate manager, so if you have a course, for instance, that someone's going to affiliate for, you can do all of that over here. That's really clever as well. You can tell the affiliate manager what campaigns you want to be linked, who your affiliates are, what payouts are, what percentages you're going to give them, etc. You can link your Facebook ads manager over here as well, which is great. And brand board, this is a cute little section. You can just set up a brand board over here with some logos and colors and fonts and so forth. So that's also pretty cool. And down to the automation on the left-hand side, this is one of probably just the most in-depth settings. We've pretty much only got workflows over here, but I say only because there's so much you can do. So if you just, I'll just create a very basic workflow. So everything starts with a trigger. So this reminds me pretty similar, really visual, nicely worked out, loads of different options, but more than most different softwares. This reminds me of something at Active Campaign. So let's say somebody submits a form and we want to say, okay, which form is it? We want a specific form. Okay, then what do we want to happen? So we're just going to build it out step by step. So we're going to hit the plus button basically for anything to happen. So what I want to add first and foremost in this particular instance, I'm going to add a little tag to somebody. Then I'm going to say, well, let's have an internal notification because I want to know when someone signed up for this form and I want to know by email. So I'm just going to pop all my information in. Oh, and I want to be notified when someone signs up for this particular thing. They've signed up from the form. I can bring in one of my email templates if I want to, or I can just pop a neat little message to myself here and make sure you click save as you're building out each stage. Okay, now that's done. What am I going to do? I want to send the person that signed up for this form, I want to make sure they get an email from me. So again, I'm going to go through and I'm going to go and find a template. Not the one. Okay, something like this that I've already built out as a template. So I'm bringing over, checking that everything looks correct on it or making any changes. Because it's in a template, I don't want to mess up the original template. So if I've made any changes to this, I'm going to save as a new template. So it's not affecting the original because all the bits and pieces are all right on this template. Once I've made those changes in exactly the same ways I just showed you in the email builder, I'm clicking save and coming back over, I'm saving again to make sure that action is being added to my workflow and I'm continuing. So then I might say, wait a day, saving again, and you can see it's just really, really simplistic. You can see all the different things. You can create contact, find contact, add tags, assign different users, add notes, add tasks, send an email. You can send SMSs and WhatsApp if you have those connected as additional features, send a messenger or Instagram DM, send an internal notification, send review requests, send live chat message, all these different things that you can have on here integrated. And you can just make so much happen. Basically, you can go to certain parts of the funnel if it's at a certain date, for instance, or within when an event is set up, all these different things. So this is an abundance, goes on and on and on. Once you have finished, you make sure you're always clicking save in the top right hand corner and you'll publish it and obviously save it. So I'm just going to go out of this one. I don't need to save it. That's just a test one. Okay, and then we go down to sites. So sites are any landing pages, thank you pages, or websites, forms, surveys, quizzes, chat widgets, QR codes. You can set up a store over here, a blog. There's just so much you can do over on the site section. So let's just have a quick look at some of these major features. So one of the main ones is obviously landing pages, thank you pages. So let me just show you how some of these look. This is just a Black Friday test one. I can show you this. Okay, so you see the funnel steps down on the left-hand side. This is just the different steps within this particular funnel. Then I can go in and edit this page. I can take a view of this page and check what's on this page. I can check out the URLs in it and so forth. If I go into edit, I won't show you too much around this one because it'll take too long, but again, really simplistic builder. So as you can see, as I'm hovering over these, again, are just different elements or widgets that I've added on. You can just choose to add another widget over here. You've got sections, rows, and then elements. Okay, so I could just bring over a headline, for instance, drop it here, make the changes here, change the fonts, the style, the coloring, everything else as usual. Over on the right hand side, it opens up, as you can see, a little menu, and that's where I make the changes to that particular element. You can add forms and pop-up settings here. So the pop-up settings, what form do I want linked? I can add different graphics, and images, headlines, subheadline, paragraphs, bullet lists, buttons, forms, image sliders, videos, images, photo gallery codes, calendars, on and on and on and on and on, as you want them over here as well. And again, they're all just drag and drop. Okay, and then we can actually make some changes on the right-hand side over here. Okay, so hope that helps. Once you're happy with everything you've done on your page, obviously you're saving and you are publishing. So they're all really simplistic to build out, all your landing pages, thank you pages. That's fine. I didn't save that. And your websites all work in exactly the same way. Forms, again, pretty straightforward form builder, survey builders. You can build out some quizzes. Chat widget's really cool. If you want to pop a little chat widget on a landing page, for instance. I think I still have a live one. I can show you over here. Here we go. So this is just one I've set up. If I just expand on that, you can just see I do it so that I get back to people in a working day on the website via email. So I collect name, phone, email, and message, and then people can click send and I'll get back to them. I'll receive that in my inbox. So they can be really handy as well. We'll go back. Membership area, another huge area to create all your courses, your memberships, your communities over here as well. So there's a client portal you can set up as well, so people can just access their client portal directly. Media storage, where all your videos and images are stored, obviously. You can connect that to Google Drive as well, so you can bring in all your images from over there. So I haven't got this one linked, but this is a reputation area. So you can link your Facebook, reviews, testimonials, I have to think about that then. And you can also link in Google reviews. So you can then share these. I think I showed you in the social media planner earlier. You can share that as a post, but you can actually see them all here as well. Then you have a reporting area again, so you can set up custom reports over here, or you can do Google ad reports, Facebook ad reports, attribution reports, call reports, agent reports, appointments, and audit reports as well. Or you can set up specific reports, creating various different pages and whatever it is that you want to have different metrics at a glance. There's an app marketplace. Again, I've shown you all the things that are included in the standard fee. App marketplace, there are some that are still free over there if you want to link in other softwares, or there are some that are chargeable. And you can download a mobile app for Ella that will give you access to things like your conversations and your contacts, and payments area on the go. So if you want to just check a conversation or send an email to somebody, you can do that on the go as well. Obviously, it's limited in an app, so you don't have absolutely everything, but you can do the basics. And then there's a help desk area as well for looking for any help if you need a little bit of assistance with something, or of course you can contact me. And then if you click onto settings, you've got a business profile. This is where you come over, you set up your billing for for you to be billed, for your emails and so forth, any staff or users in your team that you want to be added, that's where you set these up. You can come over here and do some extra bits like in the settings for automations and calendars and so forth, setting up your email services and your custom domain. You can set up things like custom fields and values as well over here, integrations, redirects. So some of the, let me just quickly show you some of the native integrations, Google Calendar, Google accounts. You can sync your emails as well from Outlook and Google Gmail, Google Business Profile, Facebook and Instagram, obviously Stripe, Wave, Clio, QuickBooks, Shopify, TikTok, LinkedIn, Slack, WhatsApp. Like I said, WhatsApp API, that is an additional. So standard fees, £75 a month. Or 750 for the year, so you get 2 months completely free of charge. Additional charges on top of that. That gives you all the different features that we've mentioned, apart from the ones I've specifically said, like WhatsApp API, are an additional. The only thing on top of the 75 that you pay for is setting up a custom domain. So you can get those from 99 pence, so that all your landing pages and thank you pages and your emails are sent from that custom domain to build up your reputation. And the only other thing apart from that is emails, and they are chargeable at $10, buys you approximately 14,000 emails. So it's 0.0007 pence per email. I think I've got the right amount of noughts in. Have I? Let me just double check. 0.0007 cents per email. So yeah, it buys you $10 buys you approximately 14,000 emails. So they're topped up as you start sending. Apart from that, that's it. £75 includes all those different features and more that I've just gone through with you. So if you have any questions, I am good at getting back to people within one working day of any questions or any inquiries or any support that you need. I quite often send a short video, much shorter than this, showing people if they have a specific question of how to do something or troubleshooting with them, then I'll jump in here as well. So any other questions, just let me know. If you want book any calls or anything like that, just shout. But hopefully you found this really useful, and have a great day. Thanks, bye.